What is up, everybody? This is Zach Rice. We're back again with more of Avernum Escape from the Pit. Here we are now at Fort Remote, so let's explore. Fort Remote, please don't startle guards. That's pretty funny. Open code. You see a petite woman, very thin and with pale skin. She's chopping thick, dried fungi into a boiling pot of stew. Hello, warrior. I'm Belinda. Have a seat and I'll give you a hot meal. Belinda stands at a table and mixes mushroom meal into gray, lumpy bread dough. Are you cooking? I'm the fort chef. A chef? Well, a cook, really. Can I have a taste? He runs to the oven and gets you a steaming kebab of lizard meat. It's delicious. She flutters her eyelashes at all of you. I put extra effort into my cooking. Helps relieve everyone's tedium. Why is there so much tedium? Nothing has ever attacked Fort Remote. I don't think anything ever will. But we keep busy. I have my own hobby. What's your hobby? Just say my name to Mick. He'll be out west. Get his reaction. That's what my hobby is. She gives you an evil grin and returns to her cooking. Okay, so we have a couple kebabs here. Oh, I forgot I had return life scroll. We have a wisdom crystal. Who has the lowest XP right now? Looks like Noah has the lowest. This young man is watching the hungover soldier across the table from him with open amusement. Quite a show, yes? Will you take what amusement we can get out here? A woman in a steel breastplate huddles in the corner. She has a huge sword and an even bigger hangover. He begins. Tread softly, please. I need to recover. Bronwyn, have another ale. Why did they do this to me? You look pretty hungover. You shouldn't let your commander see you like this. Actually, Tessic is the commanding officer, and he's just a ward. He has me actually direct the warriors. I boldly lead my soldiers out here in the back end of nowhere. She delicately sips some water from a tin mug. At least you get lots of rest and relaxation. Too much. I could have been at the front, dealing death to Sliths and doing some good. But here I am, at good old Fort Irrelevant. You think you're irrelevant? Well, that's what we are. The only thing that could possibly attack us is the Drake. And it keeps to itself. Where is the Drake? Some huge old lizard that lives in the tunnels to the west. Mick claims he saw it. Ask him about it. As for me, I'm waiting to recover so I can resume my drinking. You drink pretty hard? She gives the gentlest of nods. It's a dirty habit, but it keeps me from getting too angry. I'll get transferred someday. Transferred where? To anywhere where I can fight. Sliths, Nephilim, Goblin, Bat, Monkeys, I don't care. Bronwyn decides that her head would hurt less if she left it resting on the tabletop. She occasionally lets out a miserable moan. Is there anything here I could do for you? Well, there's a pack of fire lizards roaming the caves to the west. They spit fire at us sometimes. If you kill them, I sure appreciate it. We don't have enough troops left to handle them. They're all on the Slith front. You meet a man wearing robes and a large ankh. He sits at this desk, half awake, playing solitaire. He instantly motions for you to join him. It is rare to see visitors here. I am Ward Tessick, acting commander. Here. He immediately starts dealing a game of cards without the formality of seeing if you are interested. Can you tell me where the commander is? I'm the... well... I sort of give some orders here. It's not like there are many to give, but when they come up, I give them. Things get rather tedious, I'm afraid. Why isn't there an actual commander? All the most skilled warriors were sent to fight the actual war. The castle felt that a mere ward was sufficient to rule this fort. I don't take offense. What sort of orders do you usually issue? Open the gates, close the gate, stop bickering, let's have dinner, that sort of thing. So life here is tedious. Oh yes, this fort was built before the big wars with the Sliths and the Nephilim. We were afraid of attacks from the tunnels to the west, but hardly anything lives out there. And the things that are out there keep to themselves, so we have nothing to guard against. To stave off madness, we busy ourselves with other activities. What kind of activities? Well, I play cards. He waves at the desk. I've played thousands of games of solitaire. 1, 2... pointless, really. Then we all take part in the standless, pointless love affairs, have meals, exercise, have sing-alongs. You get the idea. And we act hospitable to the occasional visitor. Breaks the monotony. Tessick constantly shuffles and deals cards as he speaks with you. Come on, play a hand. Only exciting thing that will happen here. Have you seen any visitors lately? A party of adventurers came through a few months back. They stayed with us a week. Much fun was had. Then they went west and most of them got killed. Chasm Drake. Then there are merchants, messengers, supply caravans, and so on. Do you know anything about the Drake? Fearsome, deadly, wealthy, remote, west of here. It doesn't bother us, we don't bother it. Where is the Drake? Oh, you don't want to see it. It's far too fierce and dangerous. Is there a bounty to kill the Drake? He seems confused. No, not at all. Why would there be? It never leaves the Slayer. It leaves us alone, so we leave it alone. Can you tell me anything interesting about this area? No, not really. Okay, so Fort Remote is actually pretty peaceful for a military fort. You find a small, handsome man sitting and contemplating the small spring. He's eating a sandwich. You sit with Mick and watch the spring in quiet contemplation. He hands you a chunk of his sandwich. It's a rare, peaceful moment. Then he nods farewell as you move on. What are you doing out here? Watching the spring. That's how I pass the time. Nice spring. It sure is calm and pretty. Yes, yes, sir. So, what lives west of here? Lots of lizards, big and small. I've even heard rumors of a dragon out there. He waves to the west. Dragon, huh? So I've heard. Rumors, I know. But if Motrax can live down here, why not other dragons? We know the Empire didn't kill them all. I've heard you've seen a drake. I saw it, I did. They say it never wanders the tunnels, but it does, and it came close to us. I was sitting here, and it saw me, and I saw it. I thought it was going to kill me, but it lost interest. Not hungry, I think, but it could have ate me in a second. It's huge. I hope I never see it again. Belinda said I should mention her name to you. The moment you say her name, he chokes on a sandwich, smiles ecstatically, rolls his eyes, breathes heavily, and gets a headache. Simultaneously. There are no words in his response, but he communicates an awful lot. He eventually regains his composure. Yes, she torments my existence, but at least it keeps life out here interesting. Can you tell me more about Belinda? No, if she'd heard I'd been gossiping about her, she'd never forgive me. She always says there's too much gossip in this little fort to begin with. Alright, I wonder if Belinda has additional dialogue. Mick seems to be rather taken with you. She grins. Isn't he? Maybe I'll reward his efforts. She takes a sip of her stew and grins. Then again, maybe not. Okay, so she did have additional dialogue. We got another kebab. Well, we do have a quest here to take care of a fiery pack. So why don't we go ahead and do that? I think the Drake is pretty strong, so I'm not worried about the Drake. There is a group of large reddish lizards drinking out this oasis. When you get close, they look at you, sizing you up with unusual intelligence. Then they return to their drinking, uncertain that fighting you is worth the risk. There is a dead human at the edge of the pack, a victim of these cunning hunters. Okay, how do they get to move first? Before all my others. Okay, I can tell this is going to be a bit of a tough fight, but let's see if we can manage. Oof. Oof. Okay, you know what? I think I can manage this, but let's see. We all have invulnerability potions. Okay, not Beatrix, but we do have return life scrolls and all that. So, yeah, let's go ahead and take on this fight, but be a little bit more careful about it. First, let's move Beatrix a little bit further back, and then we'll do this. Freaking knockback. How much left of invincibility do we have? Oh, we actually have 3 turns. Nice. Okay, so these invulnerability potions definitely helped us out significantly here. That's a frozen worm. Can't kill it with that. Oh, I can't reach it? Okay, whatever, we'll skip. Yeah, the Chasm Drake is going to be pretty tough, so we better not do that yet. But this fight was definitely manageable. The Drakes cornered a soldier at the edge of this cave and killed him. His armor is melted. A close look reveals one of the charred dollops of iron is actually a metal flask. Ooh, we got another invulnerability potion then. Okay, but that should have been the fiery pack that they were looking for. I killed those lizards you told me about. Oh, did you? Well, we'll sleep a little easier now, I think. She pulls the sack of coins out of her pocket and hands it to you. There you are, a reward. Part of our annual adventurer budget. She also offers you several rounds of wine and fine fungal ale. The special occasion stuff. In the end, you feel well rewarded. Anything else I can do for you? I wish. Everything out here is quiet, and I think it always will be. She shakes her head. I'm wasting my life. Well, at least we got some XP out of it. Alright, we're not going to worry about that left side at all yet. Instead, let's go ahead and head up north. You encounter a flock of pale cave cows. They look a bit thin and sickly, but then again, all cows in Avernum looks that way. A young shepherd looks after the unhappy creatures. She nods at you and heads on her way. You meet a band of Avernite soldiers. Word of your adventures has spread. They recognize you and give you a cheery greeting. After trading a few words, they resume their patrol on the roads. You encounter a flock of giant lizards. The vicious creatures have been declawed and defanged. The usual practice. A young shepherd looks after the reptiles. He watches them carefully and pokes them with the staff to keep them in line. Alright, here we are at Fort Saffron now. This long passage runs straight through the middle of the fort. It's a small fort. There aren't many soldiers stationed here. They have magical help, though. The glyphs carved into the floor in the passage glow slightly and radiate heat. You imagine that a grim fate awaits any hostiles who try to force their way through here. You meet a beanpole of a man wearing robes that hang loosely off his sparse frame. He paces back and forth, muttering. Are you okay? He turns to talk to you. You see that he has extensive burn scars on his face. Do I look okay? I volunteer to maintain this fort. I look after the wards, mostly, safer than some things I could be doing. He runs his finger over the scar self-consciously. What wards? Where? The huge rooms out in the hall. They're inactive now, but when they're on, they're a powerful defense. How'd you get those burn scars? I've been adventuring. Looks like your adventure wasn't too successful. He grimaces. I suppose, but that's because I was with the merriest band of incompetents you'd ever want to avoid meeting. We were trying to help ourselves to some of the chasm Drake slew. Unfortunately, we found its lair. Where was the lair? It's far, far southwest in the tunnels to the west of Fort Remote. It was unfortunate that we found it because only Sabrina and I got it. I don't really want to talk about it. Ask her about the Drake. She's in Blosk. I'm sure she'd love to relive it. And she deserved to get burned instead of me. The whole mess was her fault. If she hadn't tripped that trap. The nasty trap. The Drake set traps. Magic. Everywhere. If you ever go there, be prepared to take it and take it hard. One of those rooms, the burning, the fire, the pain, these scars, with me forever. He is starting to get very agitated. His face is twitching and his hands are shaking. You politely excuse yourself to give him a chance to calm down. We already talked to Sabrina and Blosk too, by the way. There is a woman sitting in the cell. She has a sling on her arm and looks desperately bored. What? Come to gawk at me in my cage? Well, I'm Mona. Get your rifle and move on. Where are you from? The Abyss, and proud of it. I was exploring north of this fort, but the soldiers caught me. They're holding me here until a caravan passes through heading north. Why did they catch you? Because once you're in the Abyss, you can't go back into your precious Avernum without permission. I didn't have it, and I didn't want it. Tell me about the Abyss. She spits on the stone floor. Then go up there and look for yourself. You stare at Mona. She stares back. Why are you locked up? You aren't a soldier. I don't gotta answer you. Piss off, Vole. Why'd you call me a Vole? I'm from the Abyss. You aren't. That means you're a Vole. Now let me out of here and get me my scimitar back. Then she displays a nasty hand gesture and turns away. A weary man sits at the table writing out orders. He wears the traditional robes of a mage. Tiny runes have been woven into the cloth and silver thread. He rises to greet you when you enter. Welcome, warrior. I am Commander Novak. Fort Saffron has little to offer the working adventurer, but we do offer a place to rest on the way to the Abyss. Can you tell me about this fort? He sighs. This is Fort Saffron. I'm in charge here. Here at Saffron, we work hard, day and night, to keep Avernum safe from brigands. Also, I think I'm going insane. Are brigands a major problem out here? Yeah, but I've tried to keep the pass as safe as possible. Of course, given we haven't been given any reinforcements, any new weapons, any acknowledgement we exist for months. They say keeping this pass safe should be simple. Simple? Ha! Your situation sounds frustrating. This pass is the only halfway decent path known from the brigand-ridden caves to the north to the Great Cave. You'd think they could never get through, but they get by somehow. I don't understand it. They must be invisible. If you could figure out how they are getting through, I would be very, very grateful. What will you do about it? Nothing. How can I? I don't have the resources. Commander Novak seems surprised that you are still here. Looking at what little our fort has to offer, please feel free. Are you prepared for battle? I suppose we have to be. We're always short of warriors. Resources. Warriors, mainly. We could also use another mage. It takes all my energy to keep up the wards that defend us. What wards? The symbols on the floor out in the passage. They're harmless now, but I can make them incinerate anyone who touches them. If the fort gets attacked, and it might. Can I get supplies here? I wish you could. I wish we had something to spare. Okay, so we have some Fort Saffron bandits to take care of. You are going insane? I shouldn't be here. I was drafted, plain and simple. They needed mages, so they grabbed them. And me, a promising alchemist. So you're an alchemist. Did you work on anything interesting? Personally, no, but I was making a pretty penny. One of my colleagues, a fellow named Hodgson, was a better alchemist than me. Ask him about it. He leans close to you and whispers. He was going to try some experiments with gray mold, but then he had to go into the army. They got us both. He's at one of the great cave forts now. Fort Emerald, I think. Big waste. Okay, well, we already talked to him. Okay, that's the way out. I saw a button down there, and also there's a button right here. The sign says, say password in advance. Be quiet, and be quiet. So it looks like we found him. Oh, dang it, I did not mean to do that one. A curing elixir, we'll put that on. And then we'll train up real quick. Level that. Level these two. Actually, let's level this and this. So it looks like you can get struck with acid if you attack that particular mage. But my warrior's already pretty hardy, so it's not a big deal. These boxes contain the results of the bandits' hard work and looting. Several sacks of coins. The large sacks have copper coins. The small sacks have silver coins. There's a lot of money here. Okay, we can definitely get that off their hands. Can he wear iron? Well, he can definitely wear it, but can he wear it without encumbering? No, he's still alive. Remember, I took that off earlier for that reason. Ooh, Farsight longbow. If I had an archer, that would be very handy. But I don't, so I'm just going to go ahead and do... Actually, no, this one's a little bit better. We'll still equip it on my fighters anyway, even though they're never going to train in bows. At least we're getting a lot of loot out of them. Okay, I'm guessing this was just another way in, but we did kill the bandit. I found some brigands hidden in a secret passage. I killed them. You did? His face brightens. Excellent. Thank you for your help. That's the first bit of good news I've gotten in weeks. That explains why the brigands have been able to slip by Fort Saffron so easily. I'll send someone back there to work on closing the passage. Thank you again for your help. Alright, so we got that and a boost to reputation. We're now beloved. Right, so... Does this charge up our cell energy? Okay, yeah, okay. This large cavern has a few sparse patches of mold and mushrooms, but it's mostly rubble and bare stone. It is a barren no man's land dividing the Great Cave from the Abyss and the savage regions to the north. So let's go over here. You meet a band of Avernite soldiers as you explore this tunnel. Their leader stops you. Be quiet, he whispers. We're setting an ambush for a group of bandits. They often travel down this path. You're adventurers, right? We have a tough fight ahead. We could use some assistance. You can help us out, or you could be cowards and flee. How about it? You wait with the soldiers for several hours, sharing stale bread and discussing local politics. They suspect that the bandits are working for the Abyss to the north, stealing goods from hard-working Avernites. Then, as promised, the bandits approach from the east. It's a good thing you decided to help. A small band of soldiers is clearly outclassed. Well, I guess we'll have to teach them a lesson then. I want to make sure we at least kill the mages, because they can do the most damage if we're not careful. This is definitely the best I can do in the meantime if they're that bad at hitting right now. But of course we're going to help out our fellow Avernites, are you kidding? Where are you going? No, I don't want to turn the other one hostile. Ooh, well, that actually did some damage. Let's go ahead and do damage to them. And we got some loot out of it. You are victorious, although several of the soldiers are grievously wounded. After thanking you for your help, they gather up their supplies and chart a speedy course back to the safety of Fort Spire. Here's the bandit lair. Alright, let's go ahead and save the game right here, and I'll see you all soon in the next part. But I definitely wanted to cover both Fort Saffron and Fort Remote, because I know there wasn't much to do at Fort Remote anyway, so that's why I covered them both in this part. But in the next, we will take care of the bandit lair, so I'll see you all soon with the next part of Let's Play.